Peter, Dallas Goedert is back for a ninth season with the Eagles, a one-year deal worth $7 million, $4.25 million signing bonus. This is big for quarterback Jalen Hurts because Goedert had a career-high 11 touchdowns last season. The Eagles wanted to get this done, spent the last few days trying to knock it out, and they might not be done, Peter. They were looking for wide receiver help in free agency over the weekend.
Okay, interesting. Damian Woody is with us here. Damian, they get Dallas Goedert back. Are the Eagles better or worse than they were a year ago?
I think, listen, as we see here on March 16th, I think they're worse. I really do. You know, we've seen a couple moves, you know, a couple guys leave on the defensive side, move on in free agency, or what I call graduate from the program. But you also look at the coaching staff with the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, their Hall of Fame offensive line coach Jeff Stoutland is no longer with the organization. They have a first-year play caller in Sean Mannion who comes over from the Green Bay Packers. And when you combine all of that right now, you're sitting there thinking, Philly got some work to do if they're going to be one of the big boys in the NFC.
Let's talk about the NFC East. Dominique Foxworth, you're here on the show as well. Dominique, has the gap closed between the Eagles and the other three teams in the division?
Absolutely, I think so, and I would focus in on the Washington Commanders because if they can get Jaden Daniels back and healthy for a full season, I think that offense will be okay. And they were aggressive with how they approached the defense, and I think we're going to see a much more blitz-happy, big play, turnover-oriented defense, especially since they brought Durante Jones over from the Vikings. He's a Flores disciple, so you're going to see an aggressive defense. They added Oweh and Amenahue and Kason edge rushers that can do the similar things that you saw from the Vikings with Grenard and Van Ginkel. So I think this team, my expectations are getting higher and higher for the Washington Commanders as we get close to the season.
And just as the Eagles have a new offensive coordinator, David Blau, 30-year-old former player, is also going to be the new play caller in Washington. Jeremy Fowler, I saw on my timeline, and Schefter reported it, Eagles move, and I'm thinking, is it A.J. Brown? No, it was Goddard. Okay, does that mean the A.J. Brown deal is now dead?
Peter, it's not dead, but there is no movement on the A.J. Brown front. It is status quo. The Eagles have fielded calls. They've shown some level of willingness of doing a deal. Teams are interested. The New England Patriots have been involved here. But, look, Philadelphia wants a lot to move off of Brown. I've talked to teams who say it's a first-round pick and more, maybe even a first-round pick and a second-round pick. That is rich for teams trying to make that happen. And so right now it's a bit of a waiting game. They could wait till after June 1st. They would save a lot of money on their dead salary cap. So they know they have to make some moves, though, and the feeling is that A.J. Brown, it's believed around the league, would welcome a trade.
All right, if that's the case, Damian Woody, should the Patriots, who did sign Romeo Doubs, should they be breaking their back to go and get A.J. Brown and get Drake May, that number one wide receiver?
I don't think they should. I think, don't get confused the fact that the Patriots are in the Super Bowl and that they're here and all that. It could be a situation where they could kind of regress a little bit with a first-place schedule, and you're not fooling anyone. I think the Patriots will be better served to continue to build through the draft. They still have other needs. Yes, A.J. Brown will be a great addition, but who's the pass rusher? They need other things along this roster. So I don't know if I would mortgage the future to go get A.J. Brown.
Dominique Foxworth, your take on the whole A.J. Brown situation and whether the Patriots should be the ones making a move.
Yeah, I know that the Eagles are saying that A.J. Brown can come and play for him, but it sure feels like after the last couple seasons, it's going to be hard to imagine him being back there. I think the Patriots should be aggressive as far as trying to get A.J. Brown, but not at the price that we're hearing right now. You can wait around because as much as the Eagles project that they're going to be fine with A.J. Brown, I think that the decision has already been made, that they're going to move on from A.J. Brown, whether it's because of the pressure from the draft or it's after the June 1st deadline that Jeremy just mentioned in order to protect their cap a little bit more. But either way, I think eventually A.J. Brown ends up on the Patriots because he's not going to end up back on the Eagles.
Interesting. All right, let's go out west. Jeremy Fowler, we went on the roller coaster ride of the Maxx Crosby trade last week, and it ends with this wonderful Instagram post, him coming out in the flames and the whole wrestling theme. And it's like, all right, Maxx Crosby's back on the Raiders. Is that permanent, or is this something that could still change from now until the start of the season?
It's not necessarily permanent, Peter, but Maxx Crosby, I'm told, has notified the Raiders that very same thing. Hey, I'm 100% all in with Las Vegas in 2026. In fact, he likes where the team is at coming out of free agency. He likes the free agent additions that they've made. They have gotten better as a team, and they got Fernando Mendoza coming in. So right now the vibes are good, but talking to people with the team, they say, yes, we loosely expect Crosby to be back, but there are windows of opportunity if somebody blows us away with a trade. Think about around draft time, late April, things could heat up. Maybe even closer to the season. Or I've talked to league executives who say maybe take him into the year, he can play well, show he's healthy, and then trade him at the trade deadline. So there will be some timelines to watch here for a potential deal.
Damian Woody, I ask you because now he's back there, and then you look at what they brought in, Kwity Paye and Quay Walker, and of course Nakobe Dean. It's like, all right, the Raiders could be significantly better. Would you consider the Raiders an actual legitimate threat in the AFC West with Maxx Crosby on the roster?
I don't know if I would view them as worst to first. They've definitely improved their roster, but I mean, look at who we have in the division. I mean, we're going to sleep on the Denver Broncos, the Los Angeles Chargers. You know, I just think there are better teams right now, but we still
all this A.J. Brown stuff has been going on for years. Even when they won the Super Bowl, there was a lot of noise around A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts. How much longer can this carry on? Mm-hmm. You know, if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, how long can you know, because it's bound to come up again regardless. And they got a new offensive installing a whole new offensive system. I think A.J. Brown will be traded.
Do you have a destination as to where?
I know everyone talks about New England. I don't think New England should do it.
Why?
Because I think New England should stay on the track of building through the draft. Now I know they went free agent hunting last year and it paid off, but I think New England isn't as close as what happened last year. I think a lot of things aligned for them. They got them to the Super Bowl. I think there are areas that they need to address. Like who's the pass rusher? Like they don't have any. Like there are things to me that I think they need to address with the draft as opposed to giving away big-time capital to go get A.J. Brown.
Yeah, I mean, the answer to that question is not a satisfactory one to most fans, which would be Harold Landry and Draymond Jones, but that's not like a big-time Maxx Crosby type, Trey Hendrickson type name.
Would you do it?
I would not be enticed to do it, but I've tried to convince myself that it's the right move because I think they're going to do it. And I think that's where I've kind of reasoned with myself of like, as a Patriots fan, I believe they want to do it, and why would I doubt this regime so far?
I think it's so obvious the connections. Obviously, Mike Vrabel was there in Tennessee, and this is not anything against A.J. Brown, the player. He's still one of the best wide receivers in the league. I'm just saying, as far as the development of the Patriots organization, I wouldn't do it, but I could absolutely see them doing it as well.
Damian, why aren't we talking more about the contract extension or lack thereof for Lamar Jackson?
That's a great question. I mean, Lamar Jackson got the Baltimore Ravens by the kahunas.
By the short and curly.
Yeah, I mean, because his cap hit is crazy. I mean, think about it. His cap hit is crazy right now.
Yeah.
And like that should be, I'm assuming it's got to be priority number one, get Lamar Jackson under contract. But can you imagine the how to get that resolved when you have no agent?
A lot of money.
Yeah,
that's you're asking me how to get it resolved.
And they're gonna have to.
It seems pretty simple.
Listen, when you make a decision to get rid of John Harbaugh, you essentially make you pick who you want to go with. Lamar Jackson. So you got to get the contract done.
So when do we get to the point in the offseason where it's really a concern? Because it doesn't seem like you're on 10 right now because this is not done. So at what point in the calendar do we look at it and say, this is a problem that we don't have a Lamar Jackson contract extension for the Baltimore Ravens to announce?
I think it needs to be done before the offseason program get going. Lamar Jackson hasn't been in the offseason program.
Okay, so we're talking about a matter of weeks then.
Yeah, it needs to get done.
Okay.
I mean, think about it.
Because Declan Doyle has already called him to the carpet.
Right.
New head coach.
29-year-old first-time offensive play caller. You want your quarterback in the offseason program.
Yeah.
Don't feed me the nonsense about, offseason program OTAs don't matter. It does. It does matter. It doesn't count, but it matters. Like